So today we'll speak about the joy of surrender. So the joy of surrender to what? Yes, you may ask. Surrender to our mind or surrender to life? So that depends on where we put our attention, because it's all a play of attention. When we realize that the joy that we achieve outside through the outer objects, circumstances, or persons is not stable. Joy is coming and going, and it has its opposite. You might call it sadness, pain. So there is some waves. So when some circumstances are fitting to my expectation, then I open. And the sense of I is not so much or not at all. And we feel joy because it's sprouting from our nature. But as it's connected with the outer object, it disappears again. So when at the opposite there is some circumstances which are not pleasing me, or not related to my beliefs, values, then I feel hurt, or I block and become tense. So these two waves of life, opening, joy, happiness, closing, contraction, tension, anger. So we go through all these phases and we try to achieve all kind of success or satisfaction through outer objects. When a soul becomes mature enough to realize that it is not nourishing me as I like, as I want, it's like a mirage. It appear, disappear, appear, disappear. Yes. So when we start to be tired of that, then we ask a question to ourselves: who is looking at that game, that play of waves, high and low, high and low? Who is looking at that? And we turn our attention toward that which is looking, and we realize that this is always present in spite of the high or the low. And this which is witnessing that has no preference whether it is a high or low wave, because it's not in that. It's not affected. Our true consciousness, nature, our true self is not affected by the movement of the waves. So the joy is to realize that in truth we have never lost this innocence. From falling down from the garden of heaven, before as a child we were enjoying life innocently, not having much notion about good and bad. This has been put on us by our family, conditioning, and from society and so on, religious institutions, or even spirituality. So we have been conditioned after our childhood through this mind, and we lost our innocence. This joy that we see in the eyes of the child, we lost that. That's why we love so much to look in the eyes of child, because of this innocence. I say, oh, we always love what is not inside of us. We search outside what we don't have or what we've lost. So the example of the child is fitting for that. This innocence. Oh, I enjoy so much a child, as an example. Or in relationship of love, we also regain, because the mind is also going away through that love experience with another, and we regain this innocence again, but it goes away again and again, again and again. So we in this book, the Bible, where there is this fall from the garden, Adam was eating the apple of knowledge, what is good, what is bad. And that is our fall. When we put our attention towards the mind, then we follow the quality of the mind, which is to judge, to discriminate what is good and bad. Of course, we need a mind who discriminates for the practical things of life, but we have made a confusion with our inner life. And we have lost by taking the mind for ourselves. I think, I like, I don't like, I judge. We have lost our innocence. And we suffer from that. And we look it outside. Maybe I will find it again through children, family, relationship, money. We look for all these objects outside, hoping that it will give me what I miss. Yes. And it gives us for some time. But if you had a child, or some other thing, you have noticed that there is at some point some disappointment, because it's not really giving what I wanted. If we are honest, we can see that inside ourselves. So when we have seen enough of that movie and realizing that this wheel of life, we do it ourselves. Nobody else is doing it. By just looking for goodness, pleasant, and comfort, we turn the back to what is not comfortable, and pain and so on, which is a natural tendency. Nothing wrong with that, but just to notice that it is what is making the wheel turning, the wheel of samsara, the wheel of duality. So it turns by our attention being put on having a preference on what is good, what I like, rather than what I don't like. As Buddha said, desire is the root of suffering, because I desire this and I don't want this. So the will. When I realize that and I turn my attention back to what is seeing this turning, this wheel of good and bad, of preferences, it's not about stopping it. No, it's a natural tendency for the mind, the human being, to have preferences and desires. So it's not about stopping them. It's just to look behind what is the motivation, and to stand as that witness consciousness, that primal innocence, our nature, which is not affected by anything which is happening in the movie, whether drama or whether something beautiful. So I learned to turn back my attention, to my true nature. So it's a process. Some people might have some sudden awakening, but it's very few people. So for most of people like me and you, it is a sudden, more slow, depending on people and our past, and how much attention we put on that, how much is the will to uncover that. So by using life as an awakener, every situation will remind me and show me where I'm not done yet, in a way, as a person, and to go beyond that, and just to witness. There is nothing to run away from. This discomfort or part of life. When something is not fitting me, a situation, yes, either I act upon it in a practical way. If not, then I can deal with it. Just to allow myself to feel it. As an experiencer, the witness consciousness experience whatever without being affected. So you can experience the worst energy or the most beautiful, but it is the same experiencer. The self is in all experiences. So whatever you can see or witness, you cannot be that. That's what we say in India, neti neti. Not this, not that. Not this, not that. So whatever you can see or experience, you are not. You cannot be, because you see it, you experience it. You are that which is experiencing all experiences. When you realize that, you are this absolute self, this witness consciousness, and this is our innocence. Innocence in the sense that it has no preference, no desire. It welcomes everything as it is, absolutely contented, satisfied in itself. And that's in truth what we are looking for. That's not the object outside. We have been tricked by our mind, so now we can reverse the attention to from where it is coming from, the source. There is thousands of plates on the floor, or metal plate maybe, reflecting the sun in the sky. The sun, you will try to grasp a plate and there is no sun, and you can grasp millions of plates, you will not find the sun unless you look at the sun, from where it's coming from, So all the outer objects are like this, millions of plates outside. The sun appears to be there, but it's not there because it's coming from the source. So the source is what we are, and it is pure joy of being that unconditionally, the joy of surrendering to what I am, to this consciousness. And it does not mean that we have to stop the flow of life. It's just to reverse our attention and put it on that. Yes. So anything may happen outside, very terrible or wonderful. This, what I am, is not in that. It's like the screen, which is staying immaculate in spite of any object which is seen on the screen. So thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best and in your experience, and you can subscribe to this channel if you want, put some likes or comments, and see you next time. Namaste.